welcome to the Office of Locksher Gnomes Elementary Incorporated once again, cracking on with Chapter 2, the second installation of this fine mini-series we've begun. We had a lot of fun with it last time, and unfortunately our fantastical crit fail Jake is not with us. So we had a couple of ideas, but it was almost unanimous that we should absolutely return to the Office of Locksher Gnomes Elementary Incorporated.
Indeed.
Yes, last time we were with Locksher, the Office of Locksher Gnomes Elementary Incorporated, the mic is screwed up for anyone else. Is it just me? Is it me? Have I done the bad thing?
Oh yeah, you said you were worried.
Oh, good lord.
Can you give us a better description than screwed up?
Well, not if it's gonna sound all balked. Give me just a second, chat. I do believe it's doubled now.
I'm at the chat. Give us a better
Oh.
description.
Are we sure it's not the music? Does the music have the fire sound?
The music does have a fire sound. It's an excellent point. The audio is poop. No! Alright, give me a second, chaps. Taylor and Tracy and good grief, George, would you mind regaling us with your very recent adventures? Oh, it's everyone's mic.
Yeah.
Piss.
I was about to say we're all on the same voice channel. You told us that.
Alright, give me a second.
Is balked. They know we're all balked. He's like glitchy.
It's like a glitch. Let me check my audio on Twitch.
Just a second, chaps. Is it quite bad? It's quite bad. Check, 1, 2.
I put it into my headphones and now I can't hear it.
I'm posting on
messing with
Snapchat.
it. Stand by, good chaps.
There we go, he says. He's good. He's
Good?
good.
All right.
Oh,
Sorry, it's me.
Are
I
you-
was trying to listen to it.
oh alright. So we're good
That
now.
was my fault. We're good now. Sorry, I turned it off.
Alright. Thank you once again, Locksher, for figuring it out.
I didn't do anything, but I will happily take all the
You-
credit.
You done it again. Can you
Yeah,
hear
it said we
me
hear
there?
y'all goods.
You all good.
Yeah.
Check. Testing 1, 2.
Oh, we can't hear that.
Okay,
Oh,
you should be able
no.
to hear me
Oh my
now.
goodness.
Check 1, 2.
Yeah, you keep talking.
I'm just gonna crack on with it then. The other day I had a bean and it wasn't cursed. It was a good time. Alright, tell me, chat, is it better? Is we able to continue? Please, chat. Tell me.
Chat.
Some.
You got to type.
Yeah,
There's
we're
12
good
of
now?
you here. There we go.
Alright.
Thank
It
you.
sounds like we're ready to crack on. Hello, welcome back to the Office of Locksher Gnomes Elementary
Back.
Incorporated.
Alright.
Great.
It's not scuffed.
It's not scuffed.
Excellent. So, as we left off, the fantastical Office of Locksher Gnomes Elementary Incorporated managed to get to the bottom of a disappearance with a local gang. An entire gang suddenly disappeared. And in the moving alongs and investigating, as it were, they stumbled upon this straight urchin changeling. And that tonight will be our fantastic Dorky. That Dorky cosplayer specifically. Yeah, we've returned for chapter 2 of the Office of Locksher Gnomes Elementary Incorporated. Because frankly, we had quite a blast with it. We had much fun. And we have decided to hard commit to this bit where we speak funny like. Which honestly is just very difficult for me, the DM, but that's fine.
Which which I think is totally fair.
Absolutely.
If there's anything that players love to do, is give the person who's doing the least amount of work already more work.
The least amount of work is
Clearly
it?
what we're
Really?
doing.
I mean, obviously, I solve everything. So
Right.
I don't have to do anything at all.
That's why her name's at the top of the list, you see. Right.
Yeah, see, you see
Office
it right up
of
there.
Locksher, Gnomes, Elementary.
That's why I'm on the
Deep
sign,
Oh, my
idiot.
screen is flipped. It's up here.
There
So,
you go.
our fantasticful Grifel Jake is not with us this day, and after running through a couple of ideas, we all decided, almost unanimously, that we have to return to this fantastic Sherlockian Victorian era murder mystery-esque shenanigans. So, without further ado, I'm Sir Pfeffers. Let me pass it over to Taylor and Tracy, who will tell us about her as well as her character.
Hello, everyone. I'm Taylor and Tracy. You can find me on all platforms as Taylor and Tracy. Biggest things right now for me, everyone go check out Becoming Famous, which is a TV show that I helped make, starred in, produced, all that jazz. We have episodes coming out every Friday on Critical Films on YouTube. And then keep an eye out for Dungeons and Dating, probably going to start that in end of August, if not mid-October, for my new show. I play Locksher Gnomes, who is very much a spin-off of Sherlock Gnomes. And Sherlock Holmes, I already...
We never heard of that. Just,
name.
no. Yeah, we don't know that.
Never heard of it.
Never heard of it.
Quite coincidental.
TM.
I'm giving Pfeffers a good hell here because I'm the one that wanted to do that. Yeah, she's your inquisitive rogue here to help you find, capture, or kill anything a magical means or otherwise in this town with her partner Doxin, and I will pass it over to Good Grief George.
Hello, I'm Good Grief George. You can follow me everywhere as Good Grief George. I don't know. I say this at least twice a week. It's like it's a monotonous. I should have a whole script, honestly, at this point. But hello, I'm me. You know who I am. I play Walt Doxin, the Rock Gnome Artificer. Also, a spoof off of Sherlock's greatest and bestest of friends. I almost said Walt Doxin again, and my brain just like crapped out for a moment. No, Dr. Watson is the name. Just get a whoo. This is going to be a good day.
This is going to be a fun night.
2 cups of coffee, so we're good.
We're going to be just fine.
And of course, the most important love of my life, Gladstone, the steampunk pug, or the steam pug as I call him, is delicious. In fact, if you Google what the Battlesmith's character or his what is it called exactly?
The illustration,
Guardian or something like that. But the Battlesmith Defender. If you look up the Battlesmith Defender specifically on Google, that is exactly what it looks like. It actually just gives me a steampunk pug. It's actually quite wonderful. So there you are. Yes, and we have a third today. It's our lovely brand new player. Why don't you tell us about it, Dorky?
Oh my god, look, it's so cute.
You're muted.
Dorky's
good
muted.
Madam. You're
Dorky's
muted, good
still
madam.
muted.
You're muted.
She's new, she'll figure it out.
Still muted.
She's
just
not
screaming
muted, she
at
says.
the void.
Oh,
I'm
We were
not.
talking
I'm
just
not.
fine
All right.
earlier.
All right, you just talk, and I'll try to translate it with
Got this.
my own voice.
Hello.
Hi, I'm
oh,
Dorky.
there she is.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's
Yeah, no. We'll stop that right there.
Well,
I'm not going to do an accent because I can't do them. Hi guys, I'm that dorky cosplayer. I do cosplay things. Yeah, I'm playing the rogue fighter, urchin child, Winia. That's me. Follow for shenanigans.
Right on.
very good.
So, we jump into this fantastical story. The three of you are in a carriage slowly making your way through a bog. You are not in Dunlow, where you are most comfortable. Locksher is looking over once again this invitational letter that she has received. And, oh good lord, the accent that she has received. And, it is your newest case.
Right.
It is a letter from Lady Karen Kraken of the Crackdown firm.
Lady Karen Kraken.
Lady
The
Karen
Crackdown
Kraken
firm.
of the
Good
lady
lord.
of the Crackdown firm.
And
Indeed.
they call
Lady
me eccentric.
Lady Karen. All
We're
right.
working for Karen.
No.
I specifically do not take any cases.
Immediately you were dismissal, but after reading, and maybe at the behest of Doxson, maybe he picked it up and looked over it and handed it back to you. An interesting development seems to have taken place. Lord Hexus Tremblebuttons
Just came up with it right now, didn't you?
has been 40 years dead. Passed on much of his wealth to Lady Karen Kraken, his daughter, who changed her name for reasons you will soon know.
Because her last name was Trumblebuns.
Trumblebuttons, yes. Of the Trumblebuttons estate and wealth.
We're not trumbly enough, so she had to change it.
Buns weren't trumbly enough. Well, after receiving the vast wealth of the Trumblebuns estate, she quickly changed her name and moved away, starting one of the Crackdown firm. She is a lawyer, and she detests magic.
Of course.
As do most, from what I understand.
In this land, in this story, in this setting, magic, much like the prohibition with alcohol, is illegal.
But
It
also
is frowned
still
upon,
everywhere.
but it is also everywhere. It is
Well,
also
that's good to
widely
know.
known that in many back alleys and many speakeasies, as it were, you can find yourself plenty of magic to go around. But, you know, the country of Glandent is making
Glandent?
efforts to crack England. I don't know. Is making efforts to crack down on said magical beings and substances of the like. So, Lady Karen Kraken has reached out to you because a couple of days ago, a new will was discovered, giving all of the wealth in the estates to her brothers and sisters. And this does not sit well with her at all, not one bit. So she has called you, and of course the rest of the office of Locksher Gnomes Elementary Incorporated, to come and witness and see what you can sniff out, because she suspects foul play.
Oh, it's got to be a real easy one then. Just got to walk in and just go, yep, looks like a will. Sorry. We'll walk out, right? It's going to be easy money.
Yeah, easy. It's just
Yeah.
fucking reading.
Don't worry. If there's anything as a doctor, I understand how to deal with Karen. So we'll be all right. You know.
Good.
Don't you worry.
Wonderful. I'll let you do most of the talking on this one, Doxson, because I know I've been trying to work on it, not very hard, but I know that I can be a bit gruff with people, and I can already tell this Karen is going to have an issue.
Oh, that's all right. That's all right. I'll take care of that. You can-
Wonderful.
you
Let
can-
us
you can
buckle
hang out
in
with
now.
the young one.
Let us buckle in
Yeah.
now for a night of intrigue, friends. The trolley, rounding about the curves. You've long since gotten onto the dirt roads. But you can see on the top of a hill you're surrounded by a bog. It smells atrocious. But on top of the hill is a great two-story mansion. This is the Trumblebuns estate. Quite a few carriages are poled around the bend. There's a few bits of wood surrounding it. It seems on this little hill there's some trees and the like going around it. And then outside the hill is just mire and bog. Carriage pulls up. The party exits. And you look about. The fountain in the roundabout still... Good lord, I'm so washed out. So, currently off. The air is stale and the mood is tense. People talking in hushed voices. You also notice a particular centaur with the classical hat of the Connors. The coppers.
Ah,
The bobbies.
The bobbies, thank you very much.
right.
Winia, you have a moment where you're a little nervous around the centaur. You've learned from Locksher Gnomes and Dachshund that while most of them are to be trusted, many of them have quite an ill will against magical beings. And to some people, that might include you. If they ever found out you were a changeling, something to keep in the pocket.
I'll go over to the centaur. I'll be like, so I'm guessing you're security for this evening?
Hello. How are you this evening? Yes. They call me Gibby.
Gibby.
Yes. Officer Gibby. At your service. He takes a little half bow.
What?
His name's Gibby. Nudge the urchin. His name's Gibby.
Gibby, have you been working here for Miss Kraken? Is it Miss Kraken? Mrs. Kraken?
She does not actually live in these estates. She detests this home. She detests
Right.
her late Lord Hex's Trumblebuns. That's why she changed her name. See?
Where is Lady Karen?
I'm sure she's somewhere within the estate, but I would recommend you step lightly. We've found a body this morning, and we've had to
I'm sorry.
look into it. Well, it happens. Rich folk. But for the most part, he gestures over to this. You can see very far away a small chimney smoke, a cluster of it. I take care of the people in the village. I usually don't ever have to come up here, nor do I have the mind.
That's great. It's lovely to hear about you. Can you tell me more about the body that was discovered?
Well, it was unfortunately Mrs. Sapie Trumblebuttons.
Mrs. Sapie.
Wife to Mr. Krolick Trumblebuttons.
Oh. Oh, well.
Mrs. Sapie. Mr. Krolick.
Mr. Krolick Trumblebuttons is an interesting fellow. I assume you know about the new will that will be read tonight.
Yeah.
Yes.
Excellent. He didn't get much in the will.
Oh, I thought the will was being read tonight.
There's a new will. They've discovered
Oh,
a
I
new
see.
will.
Oh, I see. He didn't get much in the original
In
will.
the
I see, I see.
original will, correct.
Gotcha.
We haven't read the new will yet. It'll be
Oh,
read tonight.
that's why I was confused.
Yes, quite right. So, Mr. Krolick Trumblebuns, husband to the now late Mrs. Sapie Trumblebuns,
Yeah.
he didn't get much in the old will.
Yeah.
But he was most loved by Lord Hexis Trumblebuns. And in respect for that, Lady Karen Kraken, I think, let him take care of the estate. He lives here.
I see.
Not Lady Karen Kraken. She lives
I
in
see.
Dunlow proper. Came in last night.
Lives in Dunlow. Good to know. When was the body discovered?
In the kitchen.
That's great. When?
Oh, my apologies.
That's fine. I was also going to ask where.
This morning, I believe.
This
He kind of
morning,
flips
right.
through his pad of paper. Yeah, this morning
how
by
were
the
they-
butler.
By the butler. Great.
His name is Clisby.
Clisby, the butler.
Clisby, yeah.
Clisby.
An old chap.
Is it a rite of passage to have a weird name in order to fit in here?
These are backwaters, my dear. We all have strange names.
Oh, the young chap
Yes,
has
you
got
do.
jokes. Oh, is the urchin? Are you still doing your? Are you still trying to look like a boy?
No.
What's happening here?
She is in safety now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Being with you guys, so she probably would not so much
Not
anymore.
trying to
need
camouflage yourself.
Yeah.
All right, very good, very good.
Awful.
How was what's his name killed?
Oh, do you mean the late deceased Lord Hex's trouble buns? He died of old age. No one suspects foul play there.
I believe she's asking about this morning.
My apologies, Mrs. Sapie. We're not sure.
Is the body still in the kitchen?
Yes.
Well, if you like, we can take a look at it. We got ourselves a little bit of experience in this department.
Yeah.
Oh, do you?
We do.
Yes.
Do you not know who this is? This is the great Locksher Gnomes.
The Locksher Gnome?
From the office of Locksher Gnomes
From
Elementary
the
Incorporated.
newspapers? With the
Yes.
letters? Oh, my goodness. Well, let me show you right away. You mind
Got
if I
the
get
one
it
with the pull out the papers. Got the one with the
He-
terrace.
he
and
flicks
damage
his-
in the background.
Yes, with the almost death of entire Dunlow, the saviors of Dunlow. Oh my god!
Lonely.
He
My job.
immediately flicks his cigarette, clops it out, and quickly ushers you in. The butler kind of comes up. Hello, kind of trying to hold a hand up to make sure that he is supposed to let people come and go, and he kind of goes, and who are you lot?
Clisby, I presume.
Indeed, good madam.
Locksher Gnomes, Elementary Incorporated, the whole group here.
I was
yeah.
informed you would be coming. Come in, please. Please,
Please.
I apologize for the unusual.
Not a problem,
event.
Clisby.
Come on in. I found her this morning.
Very good.
Kind of does the slow sway walk. He is a really withered half orc.
Ah.
Very tall and gaunt, really droopy mustaches. And he just
Right.
sway walks.
Winnie is gonna mimic his walk from behind him.
Okay. Okay. In the kitchen, a sheet is pulled up over the dead body, and Mr. Crawlick Trumblebuns is there. He's kind of he's got his head in his hands, and he kind of looks up as the motley crew walks in, Gladstone included. Yes, hello. How are you today? He kind of reaches forward and he kind of like stands up and then realizes he really doesn't have to rely on any propriety at all as he kind of looks down at his dead wife. And he kind of sits back down.
Apologies for your loss.
We were hoping things were going to be different with this new will that's come to light, but even if it does change everything, I don't have my wife anymore. I'm sorry. He kind of stands up. I'm Mr. Krolick Trumblebuns. I take care of the estates for Lady Karen. He pointedly doesn't say her new last name that she changed. Look at the moon.
The moon.
The moon
Dobson
lit.
will quickly firmly grasp the hand. No, sit down, good sir. You don't need to stand. Forget formalities. You are very. Pulls out like a napkin, and like kind of wets it a little bit with some, I don't know, something medicinal. Something
Okay.
smells good.
Sure.
Just
He
kinda
kind of
pats
daps him. He
it on-
goes,
on his face.
"Thank you. I appreciate it in this time."
Right, I'm going to start just looking around while they're conversing. I'm going to look over to Winnier. I'm going to go, Winnier, make me a mental map of all of the entrances and exits in this room for me, please. Use your wonderful scouting and let me know what you find. I'm going to start looking for clues.
All right. Winya begins moving around, kind of taking note of the various entrances and exits. First floor. This kitchen has three doors. One into that kind of furnace area, one into that door in that of the hallway with the stairs, and one into the northern kind of hall. Everything you see that is cobbled on this first floor is predominantly used by servants. All of the nice wood floorings, and you can hear this, is where you have more guests and family members.
What's a?
You are currently in the kitchen.
Great.
So you begin kind of sniffing around for clues.
In the meantime, Dobson's just talking to the man, just asking, "Tell me about your late wife," or so forth and so forth.
Oddly enough, he goes on to talk more about himself than his wife. Whether or not he is pretending not to care, or is too traumatized to talk about it, or if he has some ulterior motive, you're not aware. But he does go on to talk about how he always loved the library and always had the most respect for his father than any of the siblings. There are three. And how betrayed he was when he didn't get anything in the will, but promptly locked in and took care of this estate with the butler, who was his father's butler as well.
Who wrote the new will?
I assume he did.
No one's seen it.
No. It was discovered by the butler and brought to light. And immediately, and he kind of leans forward, and sorry, Locksher, you pick up this as well. And was immediately sent to a smaller law firm from in town. Not the crackdown firm, because if there's anything in it for us, I do believe she would make it disappear if she need to, or something like. I don't trust her. She hates our father. Hated him. And
He's a
all
lot
magic.
boy.
He was, looks around a bit, involved.
Ooh.
I don't know with what we never got to know, but there's a pretty big safe downstairs that I have been making sure has been stayed closed. Insight check.
All of that?
Can I also, because I'm listening in, I'm looking around. Great.
It's a 12 inside.
Be 16 for me.
Okay.
22.
22. Okay.
My passive insight is 18.
Very wise.
So weird.
Yeah, and normally if this was like a direct thing,
Yeah,
This
that's
one,
fine.
the situation requires a roll.
Yeah.
Both Winia and Locksher both can hear the absolute craving to get into that safe that has just been taunting him for years and years.
I could just hear my own craving to get into that safe.
But what he's saying is
Yes.
that I've kept it dutifully closed this whole time.
Right.
But
It's very wise of you. It's very
But
wise.
you imagine-
there's a lot
yeah.
of dangers in the magic. I say to him, it's very.
of course, yes, and of course, highly illegal. I'm sure if there is any magical items in there, which we don't know. In the last original will, it was to never be opened, ever.
Oh. All right. And it was very wise to not be put into the hands of someone that could manipulate said will. So it's very. All
And
of
I
this is
tell
very
you,
cool.
Lady Karen wants it locked forever.
Oh.
All right.
Oh shit out.
She
They-
detests
they-
magic of any kind.
Oh.
Of course she does. I mutter under my breath from the other side of the room. uh,
Good
Can I
thing
lift the
she hired
blanket while
us.
they're
Then.
talking?
Can you lift the blanket? Sure thing. Well,
wanna look
that's
at the
what
body.
Taylor was gonna do. You're
Oh.
scoping out the surroundings. Winia, you notice that the fireplace, in the next room over, which is the lefternmost room, is not. There's more than one fireplace attached. You can see that it's on kind of a grate system, and that there's probably another fireplace underground that's attached to the same chimney. You also perceive the stairs going downwards in the southern part of that room, but it's locked up tight. In most recent years, someone has taken like a wrought iron cage, like and got like a jail cell-esque door to those stairs. I'm turning the music down a little bit.
Please. Alrighty. While she's discovering that, let me put my investigative eye to this body.
Okay.
Can I look to see how hard it would be to pick the lock? To see if like an
Yeah.
average person could.
Yeah, take a look. I mean, what you immediately see is
Dice likes me today.
turn this down a little bit. There we go.
These two. Not this one. Alright, I'll use this one today. Where's my coffee dice? My coffee dice did so good the other day. There you
Okay.
are. Some coffee dice. I'm ready.
It looks like she was suffocated from behind.
Right.
You can see bits of like tar in her hair. You're not sure what that means.
Suffocated from behind. Tar in her hair. Alright. Anything look like it's missing from the body? Say a wedding ring or anything of family importance?
No.
Okay.
She's got some nice jewelry on too.
Still on. Okay.
Yeah, still on there. And you know that she came from actually poorer backgrounds. She was, and you learn from her husband that she was a maid in this establishment that caught his fancy, and they got married after. And they got married kind of later in both of their lives.
Alright.
Also, something to point out is that these are elves. The
Elves.
Trumblebuns are elves. What you're looking at here, the now deceased Mrs. Sapie Trumblebuns is a human.
Great. Alright. Human. Wonderful. Or I would like it noted that from here on out, on everybody's shoes and hands, I'm constantly looking for tar.
Okay. All right. very good. The
Right.
only passive insight of 21. The only source of tar that you're coming up with immediately, without having looked through the house or looked at the people, is it could be found out in the bog.
Out in the bog. All right. So she might have been out in the bog for some reason. Question mark. Great. So, oh fuck! I wrote down his name. What the fuck was his name?
Easy.
Sorry. My bad.
Okay.
It's the English accent. It brings it out.
You
The husband. The husband.
Yes. Kralik, Mr. Kralik, Trumblebones.
Kralik. Tumblebones.
Hey.
Great. Is this? Do you have any other? Are there any other parts of this property outside of this main mansion?
No. We do have a few estates in Dunlow. We do have ownership over the granaries in the nearby town.
Sure.
But there's nothing for miles and miles.
All right. No sheds or
There's the graveyard out back.
the graveyard up there.
I wouldn't call that an estate, but that seems to be what you're looking for a bit.
No. Yeah, I just meant
Yeah.
anything outside of the estate in the area.
Yeah, that's the grave. It's a smaller hill that you can't easily see. About 20 minutes or so. That's where my pup. That's where we laid him to rest.
Is that there? Oh, okay. All right. Good to know. Did your wife? Is she often down in the kitchen?
No, we've got servants for that.
Yeah, that's what I was finding kind of weird.
She had a bit of her joints were starting to go, so there was no reason for her to be down here.
I see.
That's
All
why
right.
she was found by the butler. All the servants aside from Clithby, the butler,
Yeah.
go home. They go back to the town for the night.
Sure.
Except the butler, and so he woke up to make breakfast, as it were,
Right.
and found her.
I would like to very much so look over the butler and take in any sort of Sherlockian insight I can from
Kind of do a little up down. He seems stoic. Maybe attempting to be stoic.
Mhm.
You can see a little tension in his shoulders. In what looks like a normally relaxed face, you can see a little bit of a, like a tightening under the eyes.
Yeah.
He seems stressed, which of course makes sense.
Yeah.
And as you kind of look at him, he notes you and kind of locks eyes with you. Is there something I can be of use, madam?
Yeah, I was just curious. You're the one that found the will, correct?
I did.
Where'd you happen to come across that?
Strangest thing, that.
Yeah.
Found it downstairs in the basement. He had an office down there. Old Hexus. I told him it was going to send him to an early grave, but I was wrong. He died about 300 years old. I thought he was going to get the consumption for sure.
Sure.
But I went down there for old time's sake.
Mm.
And I was looking about and I stumbled upon it. It wasn't hidden. I don't know how I missed it. But when I read it, I quickly sent it away.
So you've read the will?
Let us speak in private, Lady Locksher. He just slowly walks away. Stepping outside by the carriages, he kind of looks around a bit. You mind terribly if I smoke?
Be my guess.
Pulls
I'll
out a
join.
really long wizard pipe.
Pull out my little one.
He sticks it right under one tusk, packs it, offers you some of his own Toby, and the two of you begin puffing away.
Toby.
Real quick, let me jump over to someone else.
Yeah, absolutely. Go for it.
Winya, you kind of go up to the lock, kind of look around. You see that the butler, who has very keen eyes, you note that he's quick on the glance, has stepped out with Locksher. Kind of shimmy up. Gladstone is kind of bark.
Hey.
He kind of posts up, keeping watch on the alley on that kind of hall. A very large padlock, and a lot of people think the bigger the lock, the more secure. But in reality, the bigger the lock, the larger the keyhole, the easier to trip.
I would like to pick the lock.
Okay, roll for stealth first and foremost.
19.
Okay. You quietly pull out your little lock picks, and with all the training that Locksher has been drilling into you in your natural lessons that you learned on the street, you start picking that lock. Roll a sleight of hand.
Ooh. 22.
22. You pop the lock with ease, catching it as it begins to fall.
Easy as pie.
Are you going down the stairs?
Going down the stairs.
All right, you head on down the stairs.
Close it behind me mostly, and reach my arms through and don't lock it.
But make it look like it's locked.
Yeah.
Okay. You descend into the cellar, the temperature cooling. You get down there, you see a couple of closed doors, and you just the lock onto the giant safe in that back northeastern corner. It's this huge safe door. You've never seen anything quite like it. It looks very old, and there's no lock to pick. It's like a massive combination, and there's multiple layers of combination and stuff like that. This was made by somebody who was paranoid and with money and very rich. You don't suspect you'll be able to get into this anytime soon. But
Challenge. No.
hello.
Hi, hello.
From out of one of the doors steps an old stately man. Kind of a bushy goatee, slicked back long hair, collar up, big trench coat, kind of a bow tie, and a very nice ornate cane in one corner. Little one, hello, what are you doing sneaking about? Tries, you'll never get in. You'll never get in that one. No. He kind of chuckles. He doesn't seem like he's about to raise any kind of alarm. He's more bemused than anything else.
I am investigating.
Oh. Well, let me give you some practice. Roll an insight or a perception check on him. What can you tell me about me? Let's see how your practice has... And he kind of wraps his cane on the nearby table. Let's see how it's gone.
So you like games, huh? 24.
All right.
Like jazz.
Do you like jazz? This is a incredibly old elf. You can see a signet ring. And a little pendant that's half covered under his collar. The words you can see is Lows, L-O-S, because you can only see a piece of the pendant. He is incredibly wealthy. Maybe even more so than this place. Than the Trumbull Buns. He is old. His eyes are sharp, and he seems totally at ease. You watch him pop a little mint out and offer it to you. Hands you a mint. It is not spicy. It's very strong mint. It's one of those like old man Altoids that just has a lot of bite to it. And he goes, "All right, what do you got?"
You're an old fart named Carlos with lots of money, and you're very observant. Nice to meet you, Carlos. I'm Sheila.
All right, Sheila, it's nice to meet you. He does a little handshake and then quickly lets go.
No, she holds on firm and
Okay.
shakes him around.
Did
Did it loosen the? Did it
Yes.
loosen?
It says right fellows.
Oh.
That was clever. You do hear the clink of a pistol kind of rattling around under his coat. And you suspect, and you hear a little bit of a jiggle from the cane. You suspect it might be a cane sword. That was cleverly done. He goes, "Oh, don't want to cause a scandal." And he turns and walks briskly away. Over the shoulder, he says, "My name, where is it? Is Sire Billion, the 8th of the Right Fellows."
You have a weird name too. I'm sorry. I prefer Carlos.
Billion, the 8th. And you hear him go upstairs, and with a low chuckle, you hear him close the gate and lock it.
Carlos, come back!
Burbillion steps into the room with the body. Doxson, you kind of look up, and again, stately, ancient fellow, leaning on a cane.
Oh, God, who is this?
"Oh, good man." He reaches over and shakes your hand.
Ah, what docks at your service?
"Oh, I am Sire Burbillion the 8th." And he kind of lets go of the hand real fast, and you see him kind of fighting the urge to wipe it.
I might be a little dirty, I don't know.
You're a little greasy. You're always working on little artificer stuff. "Are you here to bear witness to the will and testament of my old friend?"
Yes, that indubitably, that is what I'm here for, yes.
"Oh, quite. Good to hear. I'm sure it will be interesting, to say the least."
That is what I'm coming to the conclusion of, yes. This younger man here, he is very upset about it, but it'll be all right. Thank you.
Frolic, young lad. Aye. Again, you have my sincerest sympathies. Thank you, Uncle Babylon. And he turns and, with a click, makes a surprisingly swift exit, heading into the living room area.
Gladstone watches him.
Gladstone at this time kind of comes up to you. Bark.
Would you excuse me, good sir?
No. Yes, of course. Gladstone kind of leads you over to the oh boy. Okay. Gladstone leads you over to the caged stair and kind of is like,
Oh, yes. All right. Is there anyone around me?
Yeah, the cop. The what'd you call him? The bobbins?
Bobby?
The Bobby
The Bobby.
is kind of keeping you in his periphery. while also taking more notes from Kralik.
What's down these stairs?
He kind of shrugs, and Kralik comes over. He goes, "That was those go down to the basement, where my father held his study and his safe."
Oh, that's right. You told me about that just a few minutes ago. I remember now.
I did.
Why is it locked? The stairwell to go down to, why is it locked?
It's pretty easy to get into this part of the house. Just an added layer of precaution.
Oh. All right. Against what exactly?
Anyone.
Oh. So you're I'm totally lost again. His father, yes?
Yeah.
Yeah. Your father is a very worried man then. Very
Was.
cautious. All right. That's probably why he lived to be so old, honestly.
He kind of laughs at that and goes, "All right." The morticians kind of come in and take up the body, and he sees them out. The cop comes up and goes, "Well, you're not exactly getting off on the right foot with that one."
Oh, that's all right. I don't get on the right foot with a lot of people.
Well, if you need anything, I have to go along with that body. Is there anything you need before I go?
Am I able to maybe take a look at the body first? I am a doctor, after all. I can maybe give some insights.
You best
to
be
what's
quick
going
then.
on. That's true.
You quickly kind of go over to the body and begin, you kind of stop them and you kind of pull over the sheet and you start looking at stuff.
One doctor coming through.
Also a doctor. Doctor from Dunlin. Dunlow, good lord. Alright. Go ahead and roll a medicine check. Alright, jumping over to Taylor and Tracy.
Yeah.
After you've gotten quite a nice plumage of cloud going. If I am to be honest. He kind of leans in. You note that he's pretty tall. When he's relaxing and less hunched and tense. All of the money is going to Mr. Kralik.
Is that the son?
Yes. It is the son who had nothing and was just taking care of the place.
And was a favor of the father.
Which, in my mind, makes this thing legitimate. Because it makes more sense. Makes me wonder if the original was under some sort of duress, but not likely.
I see. Right. And so, sorry, my brain's a little bit fuzzy now. The wife here, or Sappy, was that her name?
Sapie.
Sapie. She. How long did she work here before she was married?
I think since she was a young lass.
So she was a young lass. So you've known her for a while then.
I have, yes.
Yeah. All right. How old were they when they got married?
Well, she was maybe 50 human years old.
Yeah.
And he's probably in his 100th year.
100th year?
100th year.
Did they get married before the father passed away?
No.
No, they got married after the father passed away.
Yeah.
I
This
see, I
marriage
see.
was probably about a year or two ago.
A year or two ago. Recently
and he's
married.
been dead
then,
for
I see.
about 40 years.
Oh, I see, I see.
Yeah.
Recently married. If they were recently married, and this is a maid that caught his fancy, was there anyone else on the staff that may have caught his fancy previously?
Oh, he would never. This would never.
No, I just mean past relationships. You're allowed to have relationships before you get married.
Oh, there was one other, but she was fired.
Oh dear.
Yes, it was on the safety. She made sure she was retired. Really, she sent her up with a nice little package and far away. And
I see, I see.
yes, long gone. Not likely a what you would call a suspect.
Gotcha. I see, I see. And how long exactly have you been working here?
Oh, I was Lord Hex's companion in the war.
Oh, really?
I loaded his pistols, as it were.
I see. I see.
Don't give me that, George.
All right. Between us, do you have any? I mean, you know everybody so well. Do you have any hunches?
I don't. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Because the will
Right.
takes money away from Lady Karen Kraken.
Right.
But she doesn't know that. She just suspects.
It's true.
Mr. Krolik wants the will to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And Sire Mobilian, well, he's a bit of an interesting lot. He knows what's in the safe.
Barbarian knows what's
He
inside.
does. He knows what's in there. He and the late Lord Hexis were involved in a elite society known as the Wright Fellows.
Oh, interesting.
And if I'm being honest with you, all in the name of getting to the bottom of all this, of course.
Of course, of course.
They were the rich elite, and they made sure very specific magic items never made it to the criminal underworld. This will is important. Here's why. A lot of those items are in the safe. It was Lord Hexis's will that the safe never be opened. Never for those things to come out into the open again. I'm worried about this new will, though. I think that's why. Lady Karen Kraken.
Right.
I think that's why it went to her. She hates magic.
So naturally, she would keep the safe closed.
As is her wish and her lawful right to do so.
Right. But if it goes to the sun, he may open it. I see.
There's a large library in this good establishment, and I've done a little bit of reading when our Master Krolok isn't looking, and many of these go on to speak of some of the things that might be in the safe, and dangerous dangerous things. I don't know. Of course, the organization of the Right Fellows probably dispersed many of those artifacts in other places, but who's to know? And of course, as a matter of the wealth and the estate itself. It's at this time another carriage pulls up, black, with a white crest on the side, that says Bouncin' Brothers Affiliate. Thank you. Out steps a halfling, kind of gaunt, kind of very serious faced, and he's got a briefcase, kind of done up real well, very lawyer type, a little shabby though. And he kind of nods at everyone and briskly heads inside. All right, medicine check for George.
13.
13? Okay. Suffocation. They were clearly...
No breathing?
No breathing. They do not do the breathe.
Don't give a... If I cut my own blade. Okay.
Did not expect. Yes. It looks like it was then scrubbed clean, the body, which is odd, implying whoever killed them had a bit of free time after.
You say scrubbed clean. Would I be able to potentially identify, like, what? Describe that a little bit. Is there maybe something in the kitchen that I could identify as what was used to clean the body?
You think it might have been magic, like a thaumaturgy kind of. Let's get rid of this mess.
Prestidigitation kind
Thank
of
you.
deal?
Yes, prestidigitation, thaumaturgy makes your voice boom.
And eyes go pop.
Yes, but you can see little bits of it in the hair, in between the teeth, stuff like that, kind of caked on the side of one eye.
Interesting. There was a mention of someone that dabbled in magic in the family, right?
That was the dad, the deceased father of the will.
But no one else.
Supposedly. Supposedly no one else.
Fair enough. Do I know of any, I wouldn't say guilds, but like back alley groups that study this kind of magic in terms of like arcane magic in terms of cleanup? Or
Back in Dunlow, sure. But this is in the middle of butt crack nowhere in the swamps.
Okay. Spellcaster. Okay. Fair enough.
The
That's the information.
sun is beginning to set. I almost said Birdie. Winia, you are still downstairs.
Mm-hmm.
This is the study, isn't it?
There is a study, but it's an old, dusty study that has long since been disused.
Can I have looked through stuff, memorized how things were, like look at it before I start messing with stuff so I can put it back the way it was. But I want to look for any kind of string of numbers, important dates, things like that that might work on the safe.
Roll investigation.
Don't fail me. You didn't necessarily fail me. You didn't help though. 15.
6165.
Here's
You
my
find it
pen
kind
and
of.
paper.
You find it kind of. So you find a bunch of scratched out information on the bottom, on the inside of the top of one drawer, but all the way in the back, there's one that was not noticed when it was all scratched out. 6165.
My life for mending right now.
Okay, so after I got that number,
Yeah, just break
What
my
I
game.
Can-
Nothing else really. It looks like this has long since been cleaned up. Like 40 years worth of dust in here.
not even like under the desk.
That's where you found the code.
Oh, okay. So after that, can I have gone back up to the door, listen to see if there's anybody around the door, and then reach through and
Make that
Fix
make that check.
would I have advantage because I've already done it?
Sure.
What kind of check is that?
Sleight of hand.
Sleight of hand, right?
Okay.
Oh boy. 23.
Okay, yeah, you pop that lock.
And then turn around, relock it.
Gladstone quickly comes up. Bark.
Bark.
Yip. Even.
I'm gonna not specifically come straight from that room because I understand if that room was empty and then suddenly someone comes from it, people might know. So I'm gonna take some kind of roundabout way if I have to go outside and then re-enter, you know, come back to the front, some different way.
You make your way eventually outside, and you see your two partners in crime. Partners in not crime. Solvers of crime. They're all having one's looking over the body, the other one's talking to the butler. Gladstone just kind of pads up alongside you.
Just as I came, I want to have like picked up some flowers or some kind of bug or something to just like come up and then to the, is it the butler that and just go like, look, and just
Thank you for the cricket.
gonna go try and act like I'm finding another, but I just wanted to seem like that's what I had been occupied with.
Okay.
Move.
Cool. All right.
I'm
Servants
very
begins.
confused, Whittier. Is that what you were doing the whole time?
What else would I have been doing?
That is not what we do here in our offices. In our business.
Did you not know that crickets are attracted to blood and they will move towards the blood
To bask?
to bask in the blood? Did you not know this?
You trying to deceive me?
Can I
am?
lean
Roll that
over?
deception check.
Y'all roll deception versus insight. What you up to?
Oh, I have to roll.
I got a 16 insight, so go ahead.
Can I help her a little bit? And I want to speak with small beasties
Okay.
and lean over to the cricket, and I'm just gonna be like, jump towards the blood.
Legs.
Just want a little bit of assistance.
Oh my gosh, you don't get to see this in nature ever. It's basking.
Learn something new every day, I guess.
Come here, Top Hat. Look, the bask.
Locksher, we should get ourselves some small animals, like just get a bag of crickets to bring us with us.
Yeah, that'd be very helpful.
The three of
I'll
you
leave
continue.
that up to you, Winnie. You can be our cricket wrangler.
The butler kind of leans in and goes, "It's about time for the reading. I do believe we should make our way into the dining room."
Oh, very good.
Can
Can I do it?
No.
No. Love the enthusiasm, though.
I've been practicing my reading.
You
Come
threw
on.
a bug at him.
Still learning. Sorry about that.
And we're going to go to break. But that is where we will pick up with the reading of the will.
Woo!
And bonk. We return.
Return.
J's. All right. Stepping into the living room proper, as you can see on the map, it's the room with the big old table. You can see a study and a kind of a hearth in the adjacent room. It looks like you missed a meal. All of the servants, as you guys are making your way into the dining room, pass you guys by with dishes and the like, and the rest of the cobbled area on the map gets much more busy with the help. At the head of the table, you can see Lady Karen Kraken of the Crackdown firm. Bless you. Blessings don't stack. You don't get to sneeze again. Yeah.
I thought they came in like 2s or 3s for Taylor.
Yeah.
Not when I have this accent.
Oh, that's right.
One good sneeze is all we need.
Yeah.
I'm not
Get it all
Taylor,
out
I'm
in one go.
Locksher Gnomes, it's me. My nose is smaller, so
I'm
I
efficient.
don't get to sneeze as much. That's how it works.
Lady Karen Kraken is arguing under her breath with the lawyer who has come in to read the will, and the lawyer is like got this very face of like long suffering, and eventually he kind of looks over and sees you guys and goes and kind of does like a subtle move to get her to notice you guys, and she forgets him immediately. Alright, yes! About time you lot showed up, I do say. Tell this dimwit how false these allegations are. They're not allegations, my lady. My lady Karen. I apologize, this is a quite legitimate will and testament of your late father. It's a poppycock is what it is! And she comes over and kind of brushes past him as he kind of begins setting out the setting down the briefcase. She comes over and goes up to the three of you. As you obviously know, I am Lady Karen Kraken of the the Crackdown firm, a very respectable law firm. I need your assistance badly.
The most respectable, yes, the most respectable, and I'm very happy that you have brought us here today as well,
Of course,
Lady Karen.
Only the best.
And we will not know whether or not this is legitimate until we look at it ourselves and have it read and inspect it. But we were not able to do that until today. So if you would be so kind, we could take a look at it here in just a moment, and we will.
Of course,
crack on.
Help yourselves, of course, to whatever you need. I do hope my imbecile of a brother has this place thoroughly stocked with wine and the like.
Ooh.
And she kind of looks down at, Winia, and goes, "Hello. Yes."
Just continue to just stare at her with a very creepy smile.
She's
Just
very
slowly-
pale elf. Really big blood red dress, with a big hat.
There'd be crickets all over her.
Now, where is my sister? Where is she? And she kind of brushes past you guys. And,
I want to follow her.
Okay, you start following her. The other two of you note that the lawyer is kind of stressed, and he begins kind of going through the motions of getting papers out of and stuff like that. And he pulls out a very old document, which he keeps relatively close to himself, at least one hand on it at any given time as he moves some other things around.
Is he also an elf?
He is a halfling.
Oh, that's right. That's right. We'll make our. Well, Dachshund will make his way over.
Okay.
Plop himself down next to the very disturbed halfling.
How are you doing?
Well, I'm a little bit better than you're looking right now. You look a bit stressed.
A little bit. I've kind of been thrown into the muck, as it were.
There you are. Stop patching you with this.
Oh, no, thank you.
Bit of a salve there.
Oh,
Oh, it
it
smells
magical?
very nice. Oh, absolutely not. No, this is just. I'm a doctor, you see. It's just a little bit of medicine make
my
you feel a little bit.
apologies. This place stinks of magic.
Well, this smells delicious.
Yeah. Thank you kindly.
Oh, pet. Tell me, how did you know the missing? I'm sorry, the old man. How do you know the chap that died?
Well, I don't mostly. I do believe I had a grandfather who, I maybe knew the late, Lord Hexus Trumblebuns. A small town. We all knew once he started building this estate, that, you know, many of people in town, he's common, clearly, of common blood. Knew when he came in, and a lot of us were hired on as staff. That's not the case with my grandfather.
It's very odd. Is it normal for people of his stature to come on to your smaller location and give you wills of this nature?
No, the newest will was sent to us by the butler.
Oh.
The newest discovered will. I do believe that if he hadn't done so, that our fantastic lady Karen Kraken would have tried to make this will disappear, as any deviancy from the original will would have resulted in her losing the large share of fortune.
Yeah, a lot of people are saying that Lady Karen would have tried to make this one disappear.
But once it was in our hands, there was little she could do illegally.
You really feel like she's the type of person that would do that?
The rich often are quite attached to their wealth, you know, and that much power makes them desperate to keep such power.
I'm not usually around that type, so I don't really know, but I'll take your word for it. Anyway, when are we going to get this started?
Whenever we're all gathered. He kind of looks about, and you watch him flinch as a scream is let out. Both of your heads snap to the side. Winya, you followed Lady Karen Kraken, and she briskly went into the living room to look around, and then, when not finding her sister, went upstairs, and on the upstairs was where she finds her sister dead.
What kind of dead?
Mrs. Laudry Tumblebuns
Oh gosh.
was a boisterous, if not flamboyant, easily excitable fop.
Fop?
Fop, which I do believe is not gender specific.
Is that a creature?
No. Sorry, she was traditional.
I don't know the word.
Yeah. Foppish, to be dressed very nicely and very shallow individual, easily excitable. I don't know how to explain fop.
Like the Hunger Games lady.
Sure.
The odds be ever in your favor.
Yeah,
that's a good way to
okay.
put it. Yeah. Excuse me. And she's screaming, and she's wailing and skitting, jumping about and over her dead sister.
Is it sincere? Can I?
You
see?
can make an insight check.
Is she actually distressed, or did she know? Ugh. Insight.
Mm-hmm.
18.
18. Her makeup begins getting smeared, which she probably is very unhappy about. She's wailing. It seems very genuine. She shrieks and she wails, and all of the other people start stampeding up the stairs, and you're quickly kind of jostled around the hall. The most disturbing thing is that she doesn't have a face. It looks like she is clutching some kind of piece of paper.
What's going on up there? I'm coming. Doctor coming through.
The two of you begin making your way, noting where your young prodigy is, making sure she's
In
okay.
the crowd.
Yeah, just hand up. You see the body, no face, just blank skin. Bit of a bump where the nose was.
Gladstone, come over here. You comfort the young missus. Sorry, Lady Karen, please come over here. Sit down now. It's all right. Just latch onto the dog.
Down. She lies down into a big overstuffed chair. Oh, my sister! And the dog
Just the radio voice of doesn't have to breathe.
Who was the last person besides them, out of like the family and the people? Who was the last person to come into the room?
You don't know.
Is everyone in the room?
Everyone has since bustled in. Not all of them. Of course, a lot of the servants have not. The lawyer stayed behind and kind of quickly packed up everything to his briefcase and held onto it tightly because he, unsure, kind of looking around. So he's not there. The butler is not there as well. And you watch Mr. Kralik kind of come up, and he's just freaking out. He's having a breakdown. That's 2 deaths in his family. You kind of, in front of everyone, just kind of pry open the thing. And it seems to be a receipt of the last time someone took care of the grave. The graveyard.
Yeah.
Kind of spruced it up. Purchased by the butler.
Purchased. All right.
How time of death, etc.
Very recent. The body is still warm.
Ooh, all right.
Putting a napkin over top of the face.
Thinking. Anything else I can tell? Does she have any tar on her?
No.
No tar. Okay.
Am I able to determine cause of death other than, face being ripped off? And
Clearly magical. It's not ripped off. It's gone. It's just smooth skin.
Oh.
Like the face eater in Avatar.
Yeah, similar.
Right.
But no other markings, no stabbings or anything. Just
No, it looks like she was struggled though. It looks like she was thrashing about a good bit.
Well, I would too if I wasn't able to breathe anymore.
Yeah.
Seeing this now, Winia is gonna kind of go over to them and be like, okay, gonna hide behind you guys now. Someone's stealing faces.
Yeah. We need to get everybody in the same room all together. No one going off on their own.
Do we have any knowledge of what kind of magic would do that? Sort of
Make
remove
a
a face.
Arcana and/or History check.
All right.
All of you.
I got history. I know
Not-
I have advantage.
I'm not really
on
good at
sometimes, but-
either of those, but I'll do my best. Be awesome, be awesome. It's alright.
Does it have?
17.
If it has anything to do with magic items, alchemical objects, or technological devices, I add double my proficiency bonus. So if it does not, then I'll just do a regular history check.
Regular history check.
All right.
8.
8. Okay, you got nothing. You're just very freaked out.
Still very good. I got a 20 history.
Hey.
Nice. You do recall stories of certain vengeful spirits. And aberrations. Certain aberrations having the ability to rip off faces. There's a few stories.
Cool. Do these aberrations have to be summoned, or are they just out and about in the world?
Usually there is some kind of purpose. With the aberrations, it's usually like interdimensional, pulled in from other places and given a task, and those are less causality, but the spectral ones usually are like some kind of revenge.
Oh. Right. We got ourselves a haunted house, I think.
That's fun. This is turning out to be better than I thought it was going to be.
We right, spot on, Locksher. This is par for the course for us. We should probably get that will looked at quickly.
Yeah, let's all go down in the same room. And let's
I'm a
get
li-
this will.
I'm a little worried about the rest of the family. By doing the wheel, we might be able to see who the next victim might be, because I feel like this is not
Smart.
going to be the last time that one of the family members dies.
It's smart. And I would like everybody, Butler included, in this room. I want to just keep eyes on everyone while there's a ghosty going around.
Right.
So who are you talking to?
Oh.
I've already announced to everybody
Oh,
to
okay.
all get
Roll.
in the same room.
So you kind of look at everyone and you say, we should all be in one room.
yeah,
Roll persuasion
sure.
at advantage.
Oh, wonderful! Because I want to get +2 to persuasion. Great. That's a 2. That one's a 6, so that's an 8.
Who do you think you are to be able to boss us around?
I think I'm the person that you invited to be here to solve this whole dilemma. So get all your butts, which I would have said a worse word, into the room now.
And then
Y'all, yo,
the
Treble
Clithsby,
butts.
Trouble butts.
Clithsby, the butler, kind of makes an appearance now and kind of sees everything and goes, I do believe she's on to something. If there is something amiss, we should all be together. And slowly,
Yeah.
slowly, everyone kind of comes down into the dining room and kind of all takes a seat.
Butler,
The butler kind of stands, but he's there. He stays
Right.
standing.
Adara, and Tarth.
Unfortunately, he already dismissed all of the rest of the staff.
Right.
Yes.
When we were all bunched together, can I have picked some things out of some pockets? At least, like, see if there's things
You may
in
attempt.
pockets?
You may attempt to pick a pocket as everyone makes their way down. Which pocket you trying to pick?
Is fancy fellow guy?
Mm-hmm. He's there.
I want to try and pick his pocket.
Okay. Roll a sleight of hand.
Fancy fellow guy.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Sire Babylon the 8th. You You pull a small glass bottle, like just a little one. It's empty, and you're like, you're not sure what it is. You can see the little slimy remnants of the interior of the bottle, kind of a greenish hue.
Going in my pocket.
You're like,
And gonna kind of backtrack a little bit to get with Dachshund and Locksher. Hey, before we do all this, can I'm scared. It just says it like I need comfort. Stay here and comfort me for a sec.
worry
hint,
about
hint,
little
wink,
one.
wink.
Yeah.
Come over here. It's all right. You're not part of the family. You're not
The
going
two
to
of
die.
you, the three of you, kind of convene over in the nearby living room area by the
Give
hearth,
us a
so that you can
moment. We'll go
still
take care of the
see.
little one.
So you can. What's that?
Settle her down.
And the butler kind of nods. You note that the butler, Clisby, Starion, the lawyer, and Mr. Kralik all kind of are keeping one eye on you guys. Karen and Sire Burbillion, not so much.
Gonna angle myself so either they're, the two of them are blocking me or
Mhm.
whatever way.
Yeah.
And be like, okay, I found this in Fancy Pants' pocket.
A small glass bottle with a green slimy remnants of whatever was in it coated on the inside.
Asian, I guess. But otherwise, Dachshund's better at the things.
I'll take a look at it.
Yeah.
Make an Arcana check. You note that the three of you are quickly forgotten as an argument begins breaking out inside the dining room.
Interesting. 24 Arcana check.
Interesting.
Nice.
Good. That's a good one.
Yeah.
This is a particularly odd magic item.
The goop or the
The
container
thing that
itself?
used to be in this jar, it was an ooze of some kind from Eberron. And when this ooze is consumed, you gain the traits of you can be like gelatinous and move through cracks of up to 1 inch thick. And the caviar being when you die, the ooze takes over your body.
Interesting. How long does it last normally?
It lasts forever.
Oh. It's turned into a slime. Interesting.
Yeah, when you die, you become a slime.
Someone got into the side.
Yeah. And during this conversation, the whole time she's still playing up, like rubbing at her eyes, talking softly to make it look like she's, upset. So I kind of got down into the cellar when we first got here, and he was already in there, but the door was locked.
Right.
Well, I think I
Oh.
understand now how he got in.
Yeah.
It reminds me of something I was trying to make work just a couple months ago.
Oh, and tell them also about the code that I found.
Right.
Yeah, I'm gonna go find some food. No.
I'm gonna hold on to this if you don't mind. I want to investigate it a little later.
I was told that there was the library had a lot of stuff in there, and that's not the first time I've been mentioned about the library. A lot of info of what was held inside.
Library can be found on the second floor.
All right.
We can look at that later, but I think there's
Yeah.
commotion going on.
Yeah, I just wanted to chair that while we were here in the corner.
It's fair. It's fair.
All right, let's see what this fighting about now.
They're fighting about whether or not they can risk going out to the grave. Because it was something that she was holding on to when she died.
Sure, yeah, but obviously the ghostie is here. Not at the grave.
Mr. Crawlick Trumblebuns goes, all this is beside the path. We need to get to the will.
Agree.
Is that the sun?
Right.
Yes, Sire Burbillion goes, well, if we are to understand whether or not we're in peril, don't you think it might be best if we put matters of wealth aside for once and go make sure we're all safe and deal with this problem? Lady Karen Kraken. Yes, of course. We must know if we're safe. My sister's dead. Also, your wife died. It's truly tragic.
Well, the wheel might tell us who the next victim might be if there is one. Is what we believe.
We're all safe.
We're all here. We're already here. We might as well get it out of the way. And then if you want us to look at it, determine whether or not it's real, then we could go from there. But we can't do anything about that without looking at the will first.
Everyone slowly looks over at Darian Bouncin, who kind of... Yeah, alright. Slowly opens back up his briefcase and pulls out the will. I, Lord Hexus Trumblebuns of sound mind, hereby write, and names the date, and it's a later date than the original will. Names. My good son Crowlick Trumblebuns as the inheritor of the vast Trumblebuns estate, and all of my possessions going to him, and he shall have the good fellows, the right fellows, the right fellows are to advise, but not dictate, what he is to do with my various possessions. That's all there is. And immediately everyone starts talking. Lady Karen Kraken points over to the party and goes, you must verify this. It's not legitimate at all. The money's already been invested. You know, stuff like that.
All right.
Clithsby is kind of like looking around, and he's, you know, you can see that he's tense, and he's kind of a bit confused by everything. Or not, sorry, he's not confused. He already knew it was on the will. And he's just watching to see how everything's gonna play out. Sire Burbillion kind of seems shocked. Kind of looking about. And you can see he's starting to like sweat a little bit on his forehead. Mr. Crawlick is just... Thank you, Pop. And then immediately begins arguing with Lady Karen Kraken.
Right. I'll walk over to the lawyer and I'll be like, all right, I need two things to verify this. I'd like to look at the will, and then do we have any other writing with his handwriting on it?
I've got multiple letters that he has written out, provided by not only Clisby, but Sir Burbillion, himself,
Very good.
various countenances and letters that they have transpired over the years that do, and he hands over the will, that do in fact line up with the writing as well as his signature.
We will see. I'll
Yes.
just investigate it. I'll also be reading all of what's on the letters to get any information about their previous transactions.
Can I also look at the will to specifically? I'm trying to see if that writing in the letters writings matches the scratched out codes and the code I found.
It's an engraved, but you can see a number 6. The number 6 is the exact same kind of curvy bit. It kind of stands out.
Dachshund will pull out like a small little box, and inside of the box would be like sort of like a rubbing pearl kind of thing, like just a little bit flatter than your average like circle. And then inside is also a quill. He'll just kind of like, almost like he's dipping into like ink, just like tapping on the pearl for apparently no reason. He starts tapping on it and then just starts like kind of instead of on he actually takes like the feather end of it and starts like brushing it onto the will. No one has any idea what he's doing, but he's mumbling to himself and doing this, and he's actually casting Identify.
Okay.
That will give me, if it's a magic item or some other magic imbued object, I learn properties and how to use them, whether it requires attunement to use, how many charges it is. You learn whether any spells are affecting the item and what they are. And if the item was created by a spell, you learn which spell created it.
Okay. 2 things. One, Lord Burbillion seems to be notified the second you cast the spell, and he kind of puts a hand on his ring and kind of starts looking around.
Interesting.
He can't tell that it's you. 2, you can see that there's various magics of protection on this will, over the signature kind of has this arcane ink that's used, as well as other letters that you can see. Locksher is going over the other letters, and the ones from Clithby that have been produced on behalf of Clithby don't seem of any interest, but the ones from Sire Burbillion, the 8th, are interesting to you. It tells of various delves into dangerous places to gather magical items, and how they must be kept from the common man and the like, full of elitism, dripping with
Condensation?
No. Anyway,
every time I see anything mentioning a magical item, I put my finger on where the magic item is mentioned, and I just slide it over to Dachshund.
Okay.
Just so that he can see, because he knows all about that stuff. So.
All right. The protection, is it just to prevent the will from being manipulated? Or is it like if someone steals it, does it
it
blow
looks
up
like
deal?
it looks like it keeps it from being destroyed easily. It seems like as long as the signature remains, it'll kind of.
Was there an alarm on it?
No.
All right. What spell activated the ring then?
You casting Identify.
All right. Got it. Well, what do you think, Locksher? Does this look like a legitimate will to you?
So does it look like the handwriting matches up and everything?
It looks legit.
Yeah.
It looks legit.
Yeah.
The only thing that really kind of doesn't match is, well, because you're so insightful, the ink on the signature of the will
Mhm.
is significantly fresher than the ink on the older letters that should be of the same level of age.
Same age.
So you kind of pick up the will. You kind of look at it, and you get this lemony scent from the parchment itself. You've seen something like this before. It looks like someone took a piece of paper and tried to age it and make it appear aged. And right before you're about to say, yeah, it seems legit, you suspect otherwise.
Right. It's his handwriting for sure.
It is for sure his handwriting.
Yeah, I know this. That's all I'm gonna say
But
out
the
loud.
will, from your estimation,
Yeah,
can't even be a year old.
yeah. All right. I'm not gonna disclose that out loud, but I will definitely say, handwriting is definitely the same. But, and I'll just lean over to, lean over to Doxson, and I'll just be like, oh, it's not elementary. Which is our code word for it's not right. But I don't want to alert the.
When is it ever?
Yeah. So.
You think, I'm actually too close to anyone to really like whisper, am I?
Yeah. I'm gonna need. I'll just look up to everybody and be like, this isn't quite enough for me to make a decision off of. I'm gonna have to look around a little bit more, discover a few more things, and I'll get back to you with all of this.
Lady Karen, hearing this, goes, do what you got to do! Whatever you need! Money! You need money?
Yeah.
Have it! I'll double your pay! Prove this is wrong!
Oh,
Right.
Poppycock! Find me answers!
we'll get right to it. That is.
Our job.
She is vehemently protesting.
Yeah.
And arguing and trying to prolong as much as she can. She's essentially trying to buy you guys time. Mr. Krawlick, victorious, now in his own estates, is relaxed and actually kind of going to like a pained smugness, not to the point where it really shows on his face because of the loss and stuff like that. Sire Burbillion the Eighth has begun kind of pacing in thought, kind of ringing his cane. He seems pensive. But the most stressed out person in the room is the butler.
Yeah.
Alright.
Right. I'll look at Doxson.
And he knew
Look
how
over
it
to the
was
other.
gonna go.
Yeah. I'll look over to the other two and I'll be like, you want to take one and I take one?
Yeah. Actually, I think I want Winnie to take it. I want to take a look more in these papers.
Yeah? Alright.
Yeah.
Winnie.
Yeah.
I've already talked to the butler. Why don't you go talk to him, see how he's doing? We're gonna go talk to Fancy Pants, alright?
He was supposed to know the answer already, but he looks worried. So I'm wondering if this is the same paper that he saw when he first got it.
It's a good question.
I'll ask them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's have let's see. Who wants to go first?
I'll go.
Alright.
Me, I scrounged through some papers.
Done.
Alright. I'll start pacing with him. as we're going along. I'll be like, so,
Huh.
you're going to be giving advice to the new lord here.
I guess we do have to begin calling him Lord Chronic Trumpet Buttons, yeah.
Oh, we'll see, we'll see.
Quite an interesting development.
It is indeed.
This will completely destroy the Crackdown firm, you know.
Will it?
Yes, all the money will go. All that business.
That would just be a right shame.
It would. Well, she's a bit of a bitch.
Well, you got to be a good lawyer, don't you?
This is true. I tell you. Tucked away somewhere around here. If I can find it. And you realize the pacing has been him kind of subtly looking around.
Right.
My good man detested lies.
Yeah.
Something around there.
I'm rather good at finding things, if you want to give me a hint.
It's a small bauble. It's like a stick.
A stick.
It's. He gives you the "Are you cool?" face. It's a magic stick.
Right.
Supposedly, you're not able to lie when you hold it. Much to his children's displeasure. There's a reason she's a good lawyer.
I see, I see.
They
Wait,
hate
so
her.
So she has it?
No, it's somewhere in this house.
Oh, I see.
What say we do a little snooping, a detective?
Sounds like a right plan to me.
Right.
Don't kill me.
Oh, I'll try not to. Don't get underfoot.
No promises on that.
The two of you have a chuckle as you kind of start roaming about, eventually heading upstairs.
Right.
Winia. The butler is sweating. Distracted.
She's gonna walk up like this.
Please not in the house. Please not in the house.
Just gonna go. See, you finally breathed.
You got me. So what?
Are you okay? I kind of motions him closer and just kind of like, I thought you were already
Oh yes,
understanding
I knew how this would play out. I'm concerned about the deaths. I've known these two for their entire lives.
Yeah. Who do you think did it?
I don't know. Go ahead and roll an insight. A little tasty insight check.
Oh, come on. There's always a name that pops in the head. Gosh dang it.
Deaths don't correlate. There are two different types of death. One is
21.
21. 21.
21.
Two different types of deaths. One of them seems to be of some kind of suffocation, some kind of thing. And this is where you pick up the lie. The other one, that's as if there was some kind of magical factor. Who knows? The who knows is kind of the lie. He seems to know about the secondary murder. He doesn't know about the first murder, but he knows about the second one.
Yes. Who knows?
Yes.
Just gonna keep looking at him like.
Tell you
Don't
what.
make me bring all the crickets in the house.
Let me show you something.
Ooh.
And he kind of walks out towards towards the caged room.
Oh, what's down there?
Okay. Before you can get all the way to that, he's about to answer. You both feel like you and he, this like cold tilt. This like breeze goes through you, and you both kind of stiffen a little bit. And you kind of look, and on the dirt and dust of the cobblestones, you see like this trail pass through the living room up the stairs, and freaking Dachshund, you it passes through you, and you start looking around, and Asterion bouncing, he's whoa, whoa, starts looking around, Locksher. You hear it. You hear it rotting. Not rotting. You hear it like shaking the stairs. The wind of something coming up the stairs behind you. The pictures on the walls rattling a bit. You turn, and this creature, this strange creature, gelatinous, ephemeral, two faces kind of floating alongside the faceless amorphic goopy ghosty bit begins moving up towards you, and it's got hands reached out. One face you recognize from the pictures is the dead Lord Hexus. The other is the missing face from Laudry Trumblebuns, the deceased, the killed sister. Let's roll for initiative.
My
All of us?
brain
Yeah.
is making so many connections right
Oh yeah.
Mine's not.
now. 19.
Scared.
Got some.
19. Dachshund.
22.
Okay, Dachshund.
Been rolling a couple of 19s. Liking it. It's okay, the bell curve will hit me.
21.
Okay, let's go. Let me roll for our good lad.
The dog?
No.
Oh.
Burbillion. When you... Alright, Dachshund, you're up first.
This thing is located where now?
Halfway up the stairs.
And it looks like a humanoid creature with legs.
No, it is more of a specter. That
Looks more like
has
it's
kind
floating.
of goopy flesh.
Does
almost
it look
like a
it's
slime.
floating, or does it
Yeah,
look
it's
like
floating.
it actually has
Yeah,
to
it's
be
floating.
Okay. All right, that changes what I do. Let's see. This is going to be odd, but I'm going to just assume chemical reactions. Let's see what happens. Dachshund will pull out what looks like a very small, not revolver, but it's like, you know, from Men in Black, the pea shooter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The little cricket, the
Little
little cricket.
thing,
Actually,
yeah.
I think it's
Yeah, the
specifically. what it's
cricket.
called.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It looks like a little like that. It's got like a little like the front end's kind of like a bauble, kind of ends up at a point, and the bauble's
Okay.
got some kind of sloshy liquid inside of it, and he shoots it out, and essentially is casting Tasha's caustic brew, which is a stream of acid. The range is 30 feet, so I'd have to get there at some point if he's not 30 feet already away from me. And I shoot it.
Okay. Roll to hit, question mark?
It is a, you're covered in acid, so you must do, a creature covered in the acid takes 2d4 acid damage at the start of each of its turns, and you have to make a dexterity saving throw to not get covered in it.
Okay, let's make that dex check.
16 or higher.
Oh, it fails.
All right. All right. So at the start of your turn, you'll take 2d4 acid damage, and you could use your action to scrape or wash the acid off itself.
Okay. Okay.
Wish.
All right. That's your action. What's Gladstone doing?
My action. I have a bonus action.
Yes.
It's actually a concentration spell as well, actually, so I can kind of concentrate on that. So I guess I won't use another concentration spell. Just go ahead and just keep on with that.
Keep on trucking away.
The dog, though. The dog.
Yes.
Will run up and do a little jig. Do I have to use a bonus action to attack? Unless you take a bonus action to command to take it one of its actions. Oh, look at that. Yes, I could. There you go. I can use my bonus action to have it attack.
Okay.
All right. Fair enough. It's going to run up and it's going to use its force-empowered rend. So melee weapon attack. It is an 18 to hit.
18 hits.
All right. It's 1d8 plus 2 force damage. So 4 force damage.
2 force damage. Got it.
4 force damage.
Yes. It seems to only take 2.
Deals 10. All right then.
All right. That's Dachshund.
All right.
Linnea, you are on the other side of the house, but you look at the butler, and the butler looks like he's in dread.
What is it? What is it? What is that thing?
He looks around, looks at you, and is going to try to stuff you in the fire.
I think I have a...
That's a contested grapple check.
Contested grapple? I think maybe I didn't choose that. I thought I had something about that.
You should have uncanny dodge to half the attack damage.
Yeah.
But that would be it.
I have something called skirmisher.
Ooh.
I can move up to half my speed as a reaction when an enemy ends its turn within 5 feet.
Yeah.
Okay, so what do I have to do? I just have to...
So, sorry, I misspoke. It's the butler's turn, and he's going to look at you and try to grapple you and move you into the fire. So, that is your athletics versus his athletics. You also acrobatics, if you choose to.
Let's see. And I have to roll,
Mhm.
right?
Versus.
Okay.
Yeah, that's an 8 for me.
Well, I rolled a 19.
Okay, so you're good.
Yeah.
Well done. He kind of goes to grab you, and you kind of weave away. He's going to... You know too much. And he pulls out a pistol. And I believe that's his action. He's going to run. So
Wait,
you have an attack of opportunity. Sorry, I
Yeah.
forgot he already had his action with the grapple.
Yeah. I'm going to cast Cause Fear.
Cause fear. Can you do that as a attack of opportunity?
Oh, maybe not. Can I only hit him?
If it's
Yeah,
an
I believe you
action,
can only
then
make
no.
a physical
Okay,
melee
then.
attack. Yeah,
Then
unless it
There are
specifies.
spells that both specify if it's
Yeah.
a reaction spell.
Then opportunity attack. That's what I see.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm gonna hit him.
Roll to hit.
I'm gonna whack him.
Bonk.
I add something to this, don't I?
What are you hitting him with? A dagger, a fist,
Sword. Short
Sword.
sword.
Roll your strength.
So
I'm rolling strength.
And
Don't have to
proficiency. A sword?
add
martial weapon?
proficiency. That's what I was looking for.
yeah, so on your D&D Beyond where you see sword and then you see
Yeah.
like hit, it'll say plus a number.
Oh, yes. Okay, cool. Dirty 20.
Oh god.
Rolled
Okay.
a 13.
Alright. Roll your damage. You hit him.
Bonk. 5.
5. Okay. 5 damage.
That
to the
doesn't
bug.
seem right.
Next to where that plus was.
It wasn't supposed to be like this. He's gonna keep running.
5 plus 4.
Okay, 9.
There you go.
9, yes.
Okay. He's
I was like,
actually
that's-
very bloodied.
Not to throw things sideways, but 3 days ago, One Shot Questers just posted a YouTube video about how combat was created in D&D, which is
Yeah.
that whole scenario of looking those things up just reminded me of that. It's a pretty funny video, and you all should check it out.
That's cool. I'll check that out.
Heck yeah, absolutely.
When he kind of darts around the corner and out of sight, but you can still hear him
Can I
crunching
go
away.
after him?
It is your turn now.
What is a dash? I see I can dash.
A dash can double your distance, and it's an action.
It's
So
a
you
bonus
have
action for rogues.
Oh, true.
Yeah.
So you have a movement speed of what, 30, maybe 35
30.
feet. If you take the dash bonus action, it can go
It can
to
go
60.
60?
Yeah.
Can I get in front of him?
You can move to see where he's at. You don't know yet. So you begin running.
Yeah.
You get 20 feet out. You can see him kind of running towards the bog. You've got 10 feet more, and then if you would like to, you can use your bonus action to dash, which would be able to get you in front of him.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that, and then can I tackle him
You can try.
and try and hold him down?
All right, so you easily catch up to him, and he goes, ah! And you go to grapple him.
Surprise!
10.
I rolled a 12.
Okay, you managed to get a hold of him and bear him to the ground. That's your action and bonus action.
What's the dog's name? Call the dog.
Gladstone.
Happy Rock.
Happy rock.
Happy Rock!
All right, Locksher, your turn.
Right.
Your passive insight tells you that it is not interested in you, but it is interested in Sire Brebellion the Eighth.
Who's right next to me, right?
Correct.
Great. All right. The dog is currently biting it.
Yeah.
Cool. I'm a move so that I don't know if I have to move to just sneak attack. It's already engaged. And I'm going to. I'll move up to behind it. I'll get right up to it. Actually, I'm using my rapier. I'm gonna stab it.
Okay.
I'll poke it. All right, that's gonna be probably not enough. 7, 8, 9, 10, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 to hit.
11 to hit. Very good.
Is it? Oh,
11 hits.
oh, right. Okay, it's not like that. All right, so we've got organizing my dice. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right, 4 of these, 3 of these, 1 of those back.
Love it.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 damage with my rapier.
Okay.
And then and then I'll use my bonus action to two-weapon fighting, and I'll pull around with my other hand and I'll
Okay.
try and stab him with my dagger.
You know, it seemed like it was taking half damage.
All right, well, it's the only damage I can do, so we'll get it. That's 6 plus 7, so
13.
13 to hit it.
13 hits.
Great, and it's just gonna be a little bit more damage because it's a second attack. Oh, nice, max 4 4 more piercing damage from my second attack.
4 more piercing damage. Okay.
Yeah. And that's probably going to be my turn. I'm going to make sure that I'm between it and Fancy Pants.
Okay. It is now the ghost's turn. I have to roll 2d4 damage.
2d4 acid damage.
Would you like to roll it?
No, that's alright.
Okay, that's actually max damage.
Oh.
It is not. It takes the full 8 damage, and that actually breaks it down and kills it.
Right.
Chemical reaction!
Chemical science!
I was smart!
It kind of
Well done, Doxson.
kind of breaks down into it, and Doxson, you can see the fireball that Verbillion was prepping, and then quickly like hides away.
He was prepping a fireball spell!
In close
Yo,
call.
Where's the bobbies?
He
I
goes.
have words.
He goes. It's not possible. It's not possible.
What's
I
not
forgot he
possible?
spoke like this. It was him. It was my good lad, Alexis. It had his face.
It all.
The mad bastard did something.
Help!
This couldn't be an accident. They hear help, and everyone goes.
There's
My little legs.
there's a constable around, yes.
That's you guys at this point. The constable
that
left
is
with the
us?
first body.
I wasn't sure if they were still outside or if they had actually
no.
left.
Yeah, they left. So the first to get to Winya is actually Styrian Bounson. Followed quickly behind him is Mr. Crowlick. Lord Crowlick, Trouble Buns. And the two of them kind of dash over. See you literally like holding down, like you're a kid holding down an old butler, and they're like, and they charge.
No touching!
Styrian,
No touching!
Styrian tackling, Mr. Crowlick tackling you.
Can I dodge?
Is that a reaction? I believe you can.
They're trying to grapple.
Well, he goes to
Yes,
like
I'd
shove you
imagine.
off of him because it's his butler that he's known since
It'd
childhood.
I think it's an attack actually. And it's
Oh,
an
you're right. I gotta
damage.
freaking.
So
I know how to
with-
play D&D. Shut up.
With your uncanny dodge,
3.
you just get half the damage.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Isn't that for long range spells though?
Uncanny dodge. I think it's applicable to.
Or any time there's a dex save or something?
That is a different ability.
Oh, it's a
Regardless,
different
it's a
ability,
3 to
oh.
hit, so he whiffs completely, and you just kind of matrix roll around. But Styrian, having no allegiance to the butler or anything like that, kind of just sees the butler being held down and just like also gets on top of the butler and
Nice.
kind of
Yeah!
panics. Looks at you, kind of looks down at the butler, looks up at Mr. Crowlick, and Mr. Crowlick goes, "Get off of him at once! Get off of him at once! He's old! He's so old!
He's evil!
You're
He
evil!
he tried to throw me in the fire!
Nonsense! Please,
look at
you would
him.
never!
You
Butler's
wanna
on
be
the
on
ground.
floor next?
The butler's on the ground. It's too late! It wasn't too late! We're all gonna die!
Start talking! Explain yourself! He glitched.
I'm thinking. Mr. Kralik eventually kind of shrugs you off and kind of holds him up and goes, "What's going on, Clisby?" "Oh, Lord Kralik, Explain! Starion kind of backing up a bit because it's really not his place. He's like, but he is morbidly curious. Your father was very clear. He was never to be resurrected. Never. And when I found his grave disturbed and his body missing, oh, he told me to use the phylactery. I didn't know what it'd do, but I thought it would lay him once again to rest, but it's made him a monster. It seems like the butler the butler discovered the grave robbed, and was instructed, if this ever happened to the old man, by the old man, to turn on to flip some kind of switch, essentially, which would take the soul and, much like a lich, suck it into the body, suck the soul into the phylactery. Does that make sense? Someone resurrected the old man.
Right.
And upon discovering this, the old man's old plan went into motion. So some time passed. And the butler flipped the switch. Now we've got this monster because of it. Sir Burbillion the Eighth. I can't believe it.
Is he outside?
No, he's with Locksher. We, the right fellows, we collect magical items and the like, and we stow them away, not to be used ever. Ever!
Right.
At least be caught using them. Well, we don't dabble in miracles. No healing, no resurrection. That's God's territory.
Sure.
So is setting fire out of nothing. The pistol is out.
We could debate. He kind of looks over you and sees you for the first time. Huzzah! A man of science! We could debate the matter of what is and is not the realm of godhood, but needless to say, anything deific, miraculous, not to be touched.
Your words are... they ring true, yes. But what I also know as a man of science is that there is magic afoot here. And you use magic.
I do. And no prison can afford to hold me.
All I'm saying is that we may have ourselves a prime suspect.
Me?
Yes.
It came for me!
Did it?
It's true.
Did it?
It did. Yeah.
Eh.
Because you were its master. No.
Well, that's what I was thinking, right? Like,
Where?
he's the one who had the goop. He had the bottle, and that
Are you
was
gonna
the goop
confront him about
monster.
that?
Well, she's outside, but I'm trying to figure out.
We're outside?
You are. You're with the
You are.
butler.
Oh.
There's two different conversations being had.
I know he's the one out of character. I know he's the one that had the goop, but that doesn't mean that Does he have any sort of tar on his shoes? Like he's been out to the grave? No? Because he could have just taken the jar that was empty off of either the daughter who turned into the goop as well, or at least the faceless one, or he had been to the grave and taken the vial off of the body of the guy that died, and then the guy came back as a goop, because you come back as a goop after you die.
How long has he been dead?
Like
Officially.
The old man?
Yeah.
Yeah.
About 40 years.
40 years.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
That's
Also,
why he never wanted his
the
body, right?
slime in the glass jar was green and not tar-like.
Right.
But the goop monster that came with the faces, that was green, wasn't it? Or no?
Very similar.
Yeah. So I'm thinking the old guy that died took the goop, and that's why he didn't want to get resurrected? Because then he would come back as a goop?
This is not what you turn into when you die if you've created it. This is clearly some kind of specter.
Some sort of specter
Yeah.
that got brought back. Okay. Someone else talk. My brain is figuring things out.
Well, Watt's kind of just taking all this in a little bit. It's like, Locksher, do we trust him?
He was helping me find a truth stick.
Yes! Let us find the truth stick!
And I feel like someone who's lying wouldn't want to find a truth stick.
We can test it on him first.
Sure. But I'll test it first to make sure that it works, and then we'll test it on him.
Or I'll test
could
it,
just-
make sure it works, and then we're gonna test it on him.
Yeah. Alright, let's find this stick.
All right, use your Locksher and knowledge. Go look for it.
All right, you
I
begin
want
doing
to
that.
tie up the butler.
You begin. The now Lord Krowlick stops you. Get him inside. We'll
And
sort
tie
this
him
out.
up there.
he's
was not
he's
a no.
already
I'm
at a
gonna
breaking point of 2 deaths in the family, and
That
now
one's
his
been a
butler
no.
is
I'm
being
gonna
crazy.
Tie up the butler once we're inside. Sit him in a chair. Super tie. Fancy rogue knots.
Fancy rogue.
Fancy rogue knots. Head on down to Rogue Knots. Duncan Rogue Knots.
Right.
So
You are under arrest for disturbing the crime scene, for disturbing the peace, for
Trying to throw me
how
in
old is the
the
son?
fire.
He's about 100. He's about 100.
attempted
He's an elf.
murder
Yeah.
of a child.
Starion kind of follows along. At this point, he's like a little freaked out, but he's not going anywhere fast. He seems morbidly like nothing interesting ever happens to him. And he's like, but he's also very serious because he realizes he's around a lot of money and a lot of power and stuff like that. Yes, but forcibly, but not over aggressively. Krowlick brings his butler inside. Lady Karen Kraken is just and then the butler comes in being forcibly sat down in the living room by the fire and she's like,
By the fire.
different fire, but yes. And everyone kind of gathers about. Right then, spit it up. At this time, Locksher, you find kind of in the library. You enter into the library, and you see just like books many books. And you find one part, but you do pick out this little back scratcher looking thing. And the second you pick it up, you are aware that you are not able to lie.
Got it.
You must have it then.
And that, my
Scratches back.
friends,
No.
is where we'll have to pick up next time.
Ooh.
We have 16
there's
I
Next
can't wrap
time.
this up in 16
Dang it.
minutes.
Okay.
Aww.
I'm sorry,
Oh,
but
we
we'll
could
have to do
probably
a part 2 of this
we could
one.
We could probably get a
Alright.
fireball in there once or twice, right? Lickety split. Just cut it down.
I have so
hold
much
on to
more
this.
to do. Because you've uncovered half the thing.
Yeah.
But things that have not been answered is... What's the deal with the will? Why was the old man resurrected? Was he resurrected? Who did that?
Who killed the first lady?
Who killed the first lady?
And where's
Okay,
the
well,
whole
Butler.
Killed the second lady.
What was the butler thinking? And is that the end of this ghostly apparition? All
We still haven't
things.
figured out where the whole clan went. It's still missing in Dunlop.
The
We
whole
haven't
gang
figured
from
that
last
out yet.
episode.
Wait, really?
Well,
The whole gang.
they know that a
We
curse.
killed old Granny.
Yeah.
They all got, like,
They got
Anyway.
poofed
they got booped
by the Joker.
by Feli.
Very the Joker.
How long before next time? Not sure. Not sure.
Is his villainous left?
But I'm gonna leave
The
that on a
next time-
cliffhanger.
Somebody is not able to be here, and we 3 at least are here.
Yeah.
Guys, thank you
We'll
for
see
joining
you
us.
guys
We're all
in a
gonna
month.
hang out for a little while because I know we're ending a bit early. But I'm Sir Pfeffers. I come up with these terrifying and horrible mysteries as well as the long shot campaigns proper on Tuesdays and Thursdays. One being Terraform that this motley crew is a part of. The other being Kjol, which is a frozen tundra campaign. Very exciting. Thank you for joining us. I'll full episodes up on the YouTube, Jake and Pfeffers. And we have a Discord where we all hang out and you can get notifications as well as memes and hang out with all of us and all that good stuff. I'm gonna throw it over to Dorky.
Hey guys, that dorky cosplayer, player of Winia who did not die in this
Yet.
one shot.
Yet.
Yeah. Almost did, but I made it through a one shot alive. Woohoo, that's a victory.
Well done. Well done.
And yeah, this was a lot of fun. I'm glad I got to play tonight. I'm very
Me too.
confused about a lot of things. There were a lot of names that
Murder mystery this is the first time I've ever dipped into like the whole whodunit murder mystery thing, so I apologize
love
if it
it.
seems a little all over the place. I
No, I loved it. I'm ready for the next time because I'm gonna find who done it. Maybe not Winia, let's be honest. Maybe not Winia. But she'll be there helping, that's for sure. Alright, good Geek George.
Hello. Thanks. I'm Good Grief George. You can follow me everywhere as Good Grief George. I've got this going on. I know that Joel's on Thursdays, but also on Thursdays Cajole on Thursdays. I'm gonna do it every time. Do it every time.
You're not the only one.
Gonna get people stuck in people's heads, and they're gonna remember it. It's like those billboards that you see with like the letters are intentionally flipped or intentionally misspelled.
To make you know it,
To
notice it,
make
and
you
hate
notice it, and then put it in your brain. It's like a legitimate marketing strategy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's on Thursdays, but also I do a Vampire the Masquerade thing on Thursdays as well. I was really surprised last week. The DM who runs the LA by Night stuff, like, showed up in chat for that and watched us for a bit.
That's awesome.
That was really cool.
Heck yeah.
So and the VTM people on their Instagram, I was talking with them, and they're more like they will post some of the stuff on theirs, but they want more 5.0 stuff. So more than likely that group that does on Thursday, I'm gonna try to convince them to maybe do Wednesdays instead of Thursday nights for next season. But we're thinking about doing 5.0 so that we might even become sponsored by World of Darkness stuff too. So that is like
Let's go.
in the happening. And then there's something else I had going on, but I don't remember it off the top of my head. Nor do I think I should talk about it yet, but we'll figure it out. But yeah, that's me. That's my life.
Also, while I'm thinking about it real quick, we're gonna be doing a hangout meetup thing. And we're all gonna get to
Oh,
sit
yeah.
down at a table and actually play D&D with each other, and we're gonna film it, and it'll be I think either replayed or we'll upload it onto YouTube. I'm not 100% sure on what we'll do there. But we're gonna all hang out, and it'll be really cool. Looking forward to that.
Yeah,
Who's
be
that?
all in the west or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's where we are, right?
Away
I
in the
don't
west.
actually know
Yeah.
Arizona.
I
Oh,
don't
I'm
live
right next to
anywhere. I live in this
California.
box, and I cook out stories.
That's
The
fair.
hottest place in the world. No,
Yeah.
but
It's
it's, pretty
hot.
hot.
I
It's pretty
can't
hot.
It's a dry heat.
That is
We're
much
going
better.
in. Oh,
Yeah.
oh.
Down here in
you guys will
Louisiana.
be here during monsoon season, so there will be lots of storms too, which will be super
Will there
fun
be
to watch.
haboobs?
What?
I don't know. There might be. We had one
It's
a
a
couple
real
days
thing.
ago.
What
It's
did
a
you
haboob.
say? A haboob?
It's called a haboob.
What's a haboob?
Yes.
It's like a sandstorm.
Yeah.
Like a giant wave
Yeah.
of sand that comes by and you can't see anything while you're in it. They're called
What?
haboobs.
That's so awesome.
so
Let's-
cool.
Yeah.
I want to
My
be in
college-
that. No, I don't.
My college
I
can't.
wanna be in
cosplay taking photos.
Wait.
Nothing
No.
That's how you ruin a camera right there. All right. George,
Yeah.
who's next?
And Taylor, I will be bringing this outfit too, just so we could have
Yes!
pictures of each characters.
Yeah.
Action photos.
I'm so stoked. And we're
Back
gonna,
to
like,
back.
The hell out of them.
Yeah, we're gonna have to like make ourselves look so small.
Yes.
All right.
That's awesome.
Taylor, take it away.
Hi everyone, I'm Taylor and Tracy. You can find me everywhere as Taylor and Tracy. In terms of D&D games coming up, my Dragons and Dreamers game is finally coming back on Monday. There will be some surprising changes to some characters. Some traumatic events will be gone through just to give us a little bit of oomph and difference. And then obviously play Terraform here on Tuesdays. And then I do the tech for the Sunday show on Freckled Hobo for the Crown of Feywild. Dungeons and Datings is still on its way in either spring, sometime soon, probably October when I get back from Katie's wedding. And then Becoming Famous is out every Friday on Critical Films Productions on YouTube. That's all my stuff. I am very confused about what is going on in this murder mystery, and I'm sure when I get some sort of sleep next year, I'll be able to figure it out.
Yeah, you're just gonna like wake up and be like, no. Yeah.
Exactly. Absolutely.
All right. Well,
it.
you guys want to hang out a little bit for the next couple of minutes, or you guys want to send them?
Down for whatever.
I'm down for whatever.
All right. Well, let's talk theories. What
was
are your
the
thoughts?
butler in the attic with the gnome.
Yeah.
With the candlestick.
You've discovered the first layer, which is the butler, upon realizing his old master had been revived,
Flipped some sort of switch.
did some shenanigans.
What I
I
don't
think-
understand is why she had the receipt in her hand.
We
Maybe
don't
she-
know.
Confronted him about it. Like, why would you get the grave cleaned again? Or
Maybe she had realized that the grave had been messed with, and so she was looking up stuff while
Yeah.
trying to be discreet.
That's the thing, like, as soon as she found out that it was the butler, her face gets taken.
well, I think for sure the butler killed the first girl, the human former maid.
You think so?
You think so?
Maybe she saw him flipping whatever switch or whatever, and he panicked the same way he was gonna panic and throw a child in a fire, and was just like, no more breath, and just
Well,
decided
Honestly,
to.
I
you
kind
rolled
of
an insight check though, didn't you? Did your insight check? I thought it was the insight check that told you the butler
That's true.
knew about
He-
the second death, but
but not
the
the
first.
Yes.
first.
yeah. but not the
That is
first one.
true. Okay.
Yeah.
That
I
debunks that.
think the husband killed his wife.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't seem quite sad enough, huh?
Yeah,
He doesn't seem sad enough, and he doesn't seem to want to share
Wasn't talking
anything.
about her. He was more focused on himself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That kind of
And he seems very like, and also it's like a newer marriage type of thing.
It is a newer
So-
marriage.
And didn't his sister also that was his sister who also died, right? So his
Mhm.
wife
Yeah.
and his sister, and he
His wife and his
still was like, but the will, let's read the will.
Yeah.
After discovering his sister just died.
Right.
This is true.
Yeah, so I'm super suspicious on him for sure. But now he's over here trying to protect the butler. So I'm kind of curious if maybe it's a two-person,
Like a
maybe
duo?
it was, yeah, like the butler and him working together. He gets the estate.
Maybe
then-
lets the butler retire finally.
Yeah, but now maybe that the butler, like, he seems real upset about it now for some reason. So that also kind of knocks that theory.
I'm still suspicious as to why Fancy Pant guy was down in the locked thing.
Yeah, we know that he is close with the guy that died.
But it's also part of our organization that's just all about magic and
Yeah.
stuff. So.
And
for
he knows
whatever
that there's a
reason, he
whole
was
chest
down
of it.
there. Yeah, exactly. I don't know.
Hmm.
I don't trust the old guy. Never do.
He revives his friend, and then gives him the goop monster stuff so that when he died again, he turned into the monster.
Dun-dun-dun-dun. See, we figured it out. Well, it's the end of this
Oh,
campaign.
goodbye.
One shot over.
Done.
Or is this more of a duo shot at this point?
It's a two-shotter.
Follow us next time on our triple shot.
Eventually, it'll become a long shot.
Yeah. Oh god.
Today was one shot. Deuce is wild.
All right, guys.
Three-
Thank you for
three's a
coming in
company.
tonight.